Alright, welcome back to PC Building Simulator and welcome back to the Overclockers UK Workshop. In the last video we built this inside of the InWin 309, a very unique case. Typically it has all addressable RGB LEDs in the front. They are not all individually addressable in this game, but still looks pretty cool. So we had fun with that. It's got an interesting internal layout and lots of RGB we've got in there, including those SSDs from Team Group? Now I'm like, wait, who are these from? T-Force? T-Force. Team Group T-Force. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so in this one, we are actually going to respond to a comment I've gotten. I've gotten a couple comments like this over time, so something I think we're going to start checking out. So this comment came from SlowReader 13, who said, "Can you do a comment section build series, please? That would be super cool. We can tell you what to build. If so, can you make me a Ryzen 5 3600X with a GTX 1660 Super and 16 gigs of RAM? You pick the rest." Oh, you're gonna let me pick the rest? Okay. So we're gonna try this. We're going to build SlowReader's request, and if you have a build that you want built, that's a lot of saying the word build or similar. Anyway, if you got something you want built, go ahead and drop it in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Obviously, not everything's possible. We're limited to the parts that are possible in the game. Even with SlowReader's request, we'll be slightly, just slightly limited. We'll explain that in a bit. So just know I can't build everything in the entire world. Not everything is in the game. But I can either try to get close or hopefully we can build it exactly how you ask it. So we'll see. So let's do it. SlowReader, a Ryzen 5 3600X, GTX 1660 Super, and 16 gigs of RAM. Okay, I get to pick the rest. Okay, so I'm just going to jump to the graphic card really quick because there is not a 1660 Super in the game. There's a 1660 Ti from Zotac. So we're going to go with that. It's not a 1660 Super. I actually don't really know how they compare. I think the 1660 Ti is better, just slightly better than a Super. I don't know. I don't understand NVIDIA's like lower end lineup. It makes no sense to me. So we're gonna go with that. Now, because that graphics card is kind of a short boy, we're also gonna go with a small form factor case because I think they're fun. And I was looking through small form factor cases, and a case that I don't think I've ever built in that is a little smaller is Silverstone's LD01. It's been in the game for a very long time, and I don't think I've ever built in it. Ever. Pretty sure I've never built in it. I don't think I've ever seen this. I've never seen you. So we're going to build in this. It'll be kind of fun. It'll be a little bit smaller. Oh, it's reverse layout too. Interesting. It'll be kind of fun to do something a little different. And yeah, small form factor's fun. So 3600X will obviously be going with AM4 socket motherboards. And yeah, should be a nice looking little build here in the Silverstone LD01. So let's get right to it. As far as the motherboard goes, we really just need something that'll fit AM4. Well, yeah, okay. I was like, why are these incompatible? Yeah, because it needs to be a small motherboard. We could go with a B450. We could go with a X470. We can of course go with an X570. This being 3rd gen Ryzen. I'm gonna go with 3rd gen Ryzen just because I'm gonna go with X570, even though it's a little more expensive. I don't know if you'd really need it in a 3600X necessarily, but we're gonna do it because there is no money in free build, and I can do whatever I want. So I've got my choice between the ROG Strix X570i, that is a Mini-ITX motherboard, or the Mini-ITX motherboard from Gigabyte, the X570i Aorus Pro Wi-Fi, which is also quite pretty. They're both quite pretty. I might do the Aorus board. Aorus. I still revert right back to saying Aorus. It's like a weird transparent thing that kind of went on the side there. That was weird. This reverse layout is crazy. It's majorly throwing my brain for a loop. All right, 3600X. It's a great CPU. Obviously cheaper than like a 3700X for sure. Quite a bit cheaper, but you still get 6 cores, 12 threads. It's a very good CPU. We are going to pair it with, I get to choose the RAM, remember that. I'm going to open these quick. We're going to pair it with at least 3600 megahertz memory. Since 3rd gen Ryzen, it's kind of like a sweet spot that it really likes 3600 megahertz RAM. So we're going to do that. Do you want camo RAM? Huh? You shouldn't let me choose. Do you want some camouflage RAM? I can't do it. I can't do it to you. It's so cruel. I won't do that. It would be fair. I do wonder if there's a build I could do with camo RAM that would not look stupid. Dude, I kind of like, let's go with this Patriot Viper Steel this dark stuff here. We're not going to do much RGB. Yeah, that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Fits the motherboard extremely well. It's like they were made for each other. It's wonderful. You're also going to get a little bit of M.2 storage. Not much. We're going to try to keep this is obviously more of like a budget-focused build. You know, sort of. So we're not going to do a lot, but at least the idea is that you could run your OS on this drive, and it'll still be, you know, it'll still be quick. So, okay, I'm trying to remember. Prices, I don't really remember super well. But like if we did like a 512 gig M.2 stick, there you go. You're going to run your OS on this drive. So you get 512 gigs. $200 is pretty expensive. In real life, that ain't going to cost you $200 for like a nice half terabyte. Like there are 1 terabyte M.2 drives out there that are like $100. Like Western Digital's got a few that are good. Let's pretend that's what we have installed. Something a little more reasonable. I don't know how the prices work out, so I'm gonna thermal paste this for now. We're just gonna go air cooled because again, this is obviously more of like a reasonable kind of mid-tier build, more affordable kind of budget level, which is actually really fun. I don't do enough of these, so we're gonna go with air cooling. We're not gonna do any liquid cooling, so we'll do air cooling with, you know, a few case fans and whatnot. Should be pretty cool. What air cooler should we do? I mean, all the Be Quiet ones are really good choices for good price, great performance air cooler. In real life, like a lot of people do, Cooler Master, they have their air cooler. I can't remember what it's called, but it's super popular. It's really cheap. I think it's like $15. And it's a great air cooler. It's super basic. I actually own one. It's a backup when my liquid cooler failed on my computer one time. So they're great. It's not quite like this. That's a thermal thing. But yeah, they're pretty nice. So, okay. Silverstone, that's a dual tower big boy. That's kind of like, yeah, those are nice too. And Be Quiet's got some big twin tower boys like that too. Let's just go with, I'm going to end up probably just going with the Be Quiet one. Like the Pure Rock is just such a solid basic little cooler that doesn't cost much. Okay, so we're gonna go like this and set it for, so that'll be intaking. We'll both to the back. That's good. How much was that? $30. Yeah, I mean that's a great cooler for $30. It just fits. It just fits. All right. So, okay, so since we've got our half terabyte M.2 drive, right, we're gonna need a hard drive for games. So we're gonna do, you know, like a 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte, 1 terabyte, you know, you can kind of set, we'll go with a 2 terabyte Seagate Barracuda. You've got 2 more drive slides in here to expand on, which is pretty nice. Honestly, this is a smaller case, but it's not like super small. There's still honestly a lot of room to do all sorts of stuff, which is cool. We'll do power supply as well. Obviously we have to do a power supply. Like 650 watts gonna be plenty. I mean, we could do a 550. We'll do like a 650 and say we want to give ourselves like a little room to maybe upgrade the graphics card in the future. Maybe you get tired of your 1660 Super and you want to throw in a 2070, 3070 eventually. Hello? Maybe? Yeah? Possible? 700 watt. It doesn't matter that much. It doesn't really matter. In the game, it doesn't really matter. Sean Power King. Let's get a Power King. Antec, high current gamer, 650 watts. Sure, sounds great. I don't know why that's what I settled on. It's like, makes no sense. All right. So we got power supply, we got storage, we're good to go there. We got our CPU, we got our CPU cooling. We are going to need fans. We are going to need a graphics card. Not just a graphics card, but the graphics card that you requested. I guess we can go ahead and throw that in. Let's get these out of the way. I think this is a dual slot card. And 1660 Ti, not a Super, but a Ti. Yeah, dual slot from Zotac. So you got like a good looking theme here. This case is actually pretty big for being a micro sized case. It's actually got quite a bit of room. Are these 2.5-inch drive? No, I don't know what those are. And you can't really get, I don't think you can get a fan down there. I guess we should pull off the front too. Let's do that. Let's go like a little frame. No? Yeah? That's weird. Okay, so we've got room probably for like maybe a couple 120s, and then up top looks like probably a couple 140s. Let's do it. Let's get some fans going here. We're gonna do I'm gonna probably fill out all the case fans. You don't necessarily have to do this at all. You could really probably just do a couple intakes in the front and an exhaust on the back and call it good-ish. I mean, it just depends. Depends on what you want to do. Of course, these aren't set to intake. They're set to exhaust. Let's pretend that they're not, because I would set them to intake, personally. I don't know if am I liking pure rings too? Was I able to get, what was that? That was a 1. That's a 120. That's weird. That's lining up like that. Why are you lining up? So if we took out the drive cages, we could get another fan. Interesting. All right, so we're only going to get the one. It looks like it will take a 140. Let's at least get a 140 in there then. If we're only going to get one, I want a big one. There we go. 140 in front. So we'll pretend this is intake. I would set it to intake personally. So we'd intake, the fan on the CPU cooler would pull through, and then we'd exhaust right out the back. That's how I would do it. The game doesn't really like you to do that. Now that one at least is set to exhaust. All the fans, all the case fans. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, this is set to intake. I was not seeing how that was set up. That sticker on the back threw me off. Okay, sweet. So this actually is intake. Perfect, perfect. The fans are all actually good, good. Wow. Wow, I didn't expect that. Now I think I'll put these ones up here, and I think they're going to set to exhaust. Wow, so you're saying I can't put this case fan in with the graphics card in? What? Why? Why? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Okay, we'll do it. Alright. Well, now we should be able to put our graphics card in, supposedly, hopefully. Maybe, please, I hope. Okay, I think you could probably make, I think you could definitely make it happen. I don't think you have to remove those. So, okay, those are both set to exhaust. So, yeah, I know we've got 3 exhausts, 1 intake. I wouldn't, yeah, it's not a super, like, pressure equal system. But having the 2 exhausts up here would be nice. I would, of course, love to have a couple of intakes, and then we'd be fairly balanced. But that's okay. This is how it's going to work. This is how it's going to be. All right, we all hooked up. Everything's good. It should power on. That's good. It's encouraging. We're going to get an operating system on this, too. Wow. All right, let's do that. That front panel is super interesting. Dust panel up top? No. In the front? Which dust panel do I have in my hands right now? No one knows. What? What? I'm pretty sure that's definitely the front. That's the top. This is the front dust panel. Hello. Oh. I have to remove this. Sorry. Dust filter. Got it. That's kind of interesting. This, then glass. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna get this set up, and then we'll do some benchmarks, and we can kind of wrap up from there. So got everything set up here. We're running OCCT right now in Infinite, so we're hitting about 65C on the CPU and 52C on the GPU. So yeah, air cooler's doing more than enough to keep this thing plenty cool. And then 3D Mark, 6,175 total. So graphics came in at 5,985, and the CPU 9,000. So what? 7,539. So yeah, obviously lower numbers than we're used to seeing in super high-end PCs. But also, like, what does this thing cost? Yeah, this is not an $1,800 computer in real life, by the way. Like these prices don't make sense. I think $250 for a 3600X is probably about right. But what did they price the graphics card at? $540. Yeah, it's not a $540 graphics card. The graphics card prices in this game are bananas. So this would not be this much in real life. So don't be intimidated by the price here. It's not real. But yeah, this is one of few of the more budget PCs that we've done. But this was pretty fun. So this one again was brought to us by SlowReader 13, who asked for a Ryzen 5 3600X, a GTX 1660 Super, which we didn't have a 1660 Super, so we got a 1660 Ti, and 16 gigs of RAM, and I got to decide the rest, and so I decided on the Silverstone LD01 case. We picked the X570 motherboard from Oris, which also pushed the price up a bit. I could have definitely gone with a cheaper motherboard. We did 512 gigs of M.2 storage, which was priced at $200, which is too high. It wouldn't cost that much in real life. And a 2 terabyte regular hard drive. $70 for that is actually pretty realistic. So there you go. If you have ideas for a build you'd like to see me work on, go ahead and put it in the comments below, and I'll start trying to do these as I'm able to, as they make sense, as I'm able to find components in the game that actually match up with what you guys are asking for, or decent alternatives. So yeah, so go ahead and let me know if you guys have anything you want me to build, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more videos of PC Building Simulator, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.